to episode 9 of Bel Air. So, this episode is after they're finding out about, Doc taking the bribes and steering the teams to the colleges and the agents. So, Aunt Viv is finding this out, and Uncle Phil is sending Will, and they're just like, this is crazy. Like, Aunt Viv is totally upset because she said this is messed up for the boys and the other students that have to deal with this, like what he's doing, because what he's doing is deceitful and it's messed up. Like Uncle Phil was saying, it's violation for him to be taking bribes and steering the students to the teams and to the different agents. It's kind of messed up. So then, Aunt Viv is like, oh, Uncle Phil, Jeffrey, you need to speak to him or whatever about this because it's not right what he's doing. And then Will's like, nah, let me talk about it because remember, Jeffrey, you said that a man has to stand on his own 2 feet and deal with his issues head on. So I'm gonna do it. And then Uncle Phil was telling Jeffrey, just let Will do it. Let Will do it. Now, if you still have issues or anything of that nature with the situation, then we will step in. We will speak to Doc ourselves. But we'll allow you to speak to Doc when you get a chance and speak to him and let him know what's going on, because at this point, this is not right what he's doing. We have to find a resolution to this real soon, real quickly. So next scene is Will talking to his teammates about what was going on and what Doc was doing and how it was wrong. Like, that's crazy. We need to stand for something because it's not right what he's doing. He's steering people, different teams, and that's messed up. But then the people on the team was like, nah, we can't do that because Brian's already set. He already got scholarship and he already got his team. You set up, you got your uncle and stuff, but we don't got the same. Like, look at us. We taking buses to get here. We don't got the same opportunity. And Doc got all these openings and all these people that are for him or that he can get to help in the situation. And we not finna turn our backs on him. And my thing is, they're in a rock and a hard place. So Will wanted them to turn against, but they told him, nah, we're not finna do that. So sorry, you on your own. Some of us are taking a bus to get here. We don't got no fancy car like you. We don't got no scholarships like Brian or any type of thing like that. We can't really do that. So we're not finna do that. We're gonna keep playing. Sorry. And they walked away and they went to go practice or whatever. And then Will was just like looking like, oh wow, that's crazy. But at the same time, I understand where they're coming from because they don't have no other choice, like they're saying. Like, they don't have the same opportunities like you. They don't have an uncle with money to help them. They have to, like, basically work hard and take probably a couple buses just to get to the location. They have to force themselves to get up early to do everything. They don't have the same opportunities like you. So that's the reason why they're not finna say nothing, because I feel like he's their only way out of their situations, their neighborhoods, out of where they come from to get a better life, to get a scholarship, to do better, to go to college, to do something with themselves where they don't have to struggle later on. So I get where they're coming from. They have a point. So next scene, they have Carlton, at school, and one of Connor's friends come up to him, approach him about Connor, like, yo, we haven't seen Connor in a while. Some Asian dude, I don't know his name because they really didn't say his name. So his friend is like, where's Connor? We haven't seen him, and he's missing. We just came in. He said, why are you coming to me? I don't even hang out with him no more. He said, nah, we just checking because we've been contacting him, and we haven't heard from him. He haven't been texting nobody back. He haven't been responding to phone calls, nothing. Like, I'm just worried about him. And he said, well, I'm not his keeper. He'll return the call. He answer. I don't know why you asking me. I'm not his keeper. I'm not his mom. I'm not friends with him like that. I don't hang out with him like that. What are you talking about? So and I'm just like, really, Carlson, you was just hanging out with him this weekend. You was like the last person that saw him. So I don't know why you acting like, but I guess he's like, that's none of their business whether you hang out with him or not, or something like that. And I guess, because, Jeffrey is actually watching him, so he could be watching him at school. You never know. So he's trying to kind of keep his distance from him, so people don't know that he's still talking to Connor, I think, or what have. So I'm just like, okay, maybe you say so. Cause he got a little attitude. I'm like, okay, Carlson, you need to chill out. Like, you hang out with that boy, so stop with the nonsense. So next scene, Carlson is texting him like, yo, answer your phone. Like, I'm talking. Like, where are you? Like, what's going on? Like, he's trying to figure out what's going on or what's happening here. So next scene is Carlton sees Drew and Lisa holding hands, and he looks at Lisa a type of way, and then he just walks past her. And then Drew was like, what's that about? He's like, nothing, it's just complicated, no big deal, we know we friends. And he said, I don't even know why you even hang out with that dude. He ain't even worth nothing. He said, he's my friend though, so stop saying that. He's a stand-up guy. He said, oh, he's a stand-up guy, then how come he's still hanging out with Connor still? And she was like, no, he's not. He said, nah, he is. I saw him driving off to go hang out with Connor. So if he's so great, he's changing all this stuff you saying, and why is he still hanging out with Connor again? And I'm just like, Drew, you need to mind your business. My whole thing is, okay, you trying to give her a heads up, but who he hangs out with is kind of his business. Like, why are you sitting here snitching? See, this is what I'm talking about. He's not no good because he's sitting there worried snitching about that. But you can tell her that you sent out that video to get him in trouble about something that he had did in his past, which is none of your concern to be throwing it out there. Like, he's messed up or whatever. So you sitting here trying to throw everybody else under the bus. But did you tell her what you did? I don't think so. So you're not no better. You're deceitful and you're a liar as well. So go sit down somewhere. Like, I do not like him. Just feel like he's not an honest person. And he got his nerve trying to talk about Carlton when he's just like Carlton. They the one and the same in my opinion. They both lie. They both are not honest about stuff. And when they get caught and stuff, they want to sit there and pinpoint other people and bring up other people's names, but they don't want to or whatever. They don't want to deal with the consequences of things that they do, but they want to sit there and point their finger at other people. Like, boy, bye. So next scene, Erica. You know, the lady that was trying to get Uncle Phil last episode to sign a contract with the firm that she's working for now because they really want him because of, you know, he's really good and everything like that. So Erica brings by flowers. She comes to their home, Uncle Phil and her home. So she brings in this big bouquet of white flowers and she brings it to her. Now, if it was like, you know, you could have just sent this by service, right? You didn't have to come and get them yourself. She said, nah, I just wanted to come and say I apologize for what I've done in the past in the way that I came off last time that we spoke. And I do want to apologize because it was wrong and I don't want us to have any bad blood or any issues or anything like that. But Olivia said, I guess. And then she said, okay, you can come in. And then they were basically going to talk or what have. And she basically apologized and Olivia basically accepted her apologies because she allowed her to walk into the home. So next scene is Uncle Phil. He's at his firm with his partner. And they're basically looking at the terms of this acquisition from this other firm or what have. And they're basically firing half of their staff. A lot of people are losing their jobs. And he said, yo, people can't afford to lose their job. People need this money and need this job, and we can't do that. And his partner's like, well, what do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? We lost that Garrison contract, and because we lost Garrison, we don't have no leverage really to stand on to keep our people, and we have to let certain people go to keep our firm standing and to keep it afloat basically. And Uncle Phil said, nah, that's not cool because they doing this and they kind of telling you how you should do certain things. They basically getting control of the firm. We're not even gonna have control of our own firm now. We need a new plan so then they can kiss my black, you know what, because no, that this plan ain't finna work. You need to talk to them back again and fix this. No. And he walked out. We need a new plan. We need to figure something else out. This acquisition deal is not working. This is not working. It's not. So basically, he's not happy with it. So next scene, they're back at home, and Erica and Aunt Viv, they're still talking, and Aunt Viv is like, you know, she got the executive director position offered to her from her fellowship. The people that are over her offered her the job, and she's still considering it. So she asked Erica about that, like what she should do. So she's kind of like at a standstill. She's kind of unsure about what she wants to do. She's on one hand wants to do it, but then on the other hand, she feels kind of messed up because she don't want to take Janice. You know, Janice out her job position, and she don't want to have any issues. So Erica's telling her that you gotta look out for yourself and look out for yourself for once, and not think about that. You know, and just do what's best for you, because at the end of the day, you know, you got to look at what's in your best interest, because us as people, we're always looking out for this person, that person, but we always leave ourselves out. So I think that you should take the position because it's a good position. The executive director, they offering you that position for a reason. It's good, like they feel that you can do the position, you have what it takes. So it's a good thing. So I think that she should do it. I kind of agree, but then in the sense, I kind of think that there's an ulterior motive why they want her to take that position. There's a reason behind it. I feel like the reason why they don't like Janice is because Janice is an older woman. She's had that position for a long time. And then furthermore, she's stuck in her ways. And they were saying they wanted somebody new, but I feel like they want somebody that probably hasn't been in that position before and doesn't know what she really gonna do and doesn't know certain things, and they can manipulate her and try to control her and stuff like that. I think that that's why they're offering her a job. I don't think that it's gonna be anything positive. I think that it's gonna be them manipulating. In my opinion, that's what I think. But we'll see, because we have the last episode that's coming on, so I'll do. We'll see what's their plan, because see what their plan is in reference to the position. Uncle Phil comes home trying, and he's tired. He wants to talk to Aunt Viv, and then Jeffrey's like, "Yo, I've been calling you and contacting you. You haven't been answering because I wanted to tell you something." He said, "What you want to tell me?" And he pointed, "Look, Erica's here." And he was just like, "What's she doing?" He said, "See, this is why I've been contacting you, trying to tell you." Next thing, Lisa is talking to Will, and she told him about Carson hanging back with Connor again. And Will said, "So what?" And he's hanging out with Connor again. What can I do about that? And she said, "But that's crazy." He said, "I'm done saving him. There's nothing I can do about that. He's willing to throw you under the bus that quickly. So, like, my whole thing about it is with Carlton, I'm done with him. I'm sorry to tell you, I'm not saving him no more. Point blank, period." And then Lisa's like brought up the fact that Carlton had told her about Drew sending that video during the speech, and how she think that he was full of it, and that and then Will was like, "Oh, I'm the one who told Carlton to do that because we were having our issue and we weren't talking, so I felt like if he told you, because y'all were really close friends and knew each other for a lot longer, that you would accept what he said, because I didn't want you to think that I was hating or something like that." And she's like, "Oh, that's crazy how we've all fallen off and how we're not talking and what happened to us." And he said, "I don't know. But when it comes to my cousin, if it comes between Drew and my cousin, I'm going to choose my cousin. I think you should choose him too. Like, Drew, he ain't no good. I'm sorry to tell you. No." And then she was just like looking at him, and he's just like, "I'm just saying." So next thing is Hillary. She's at this event for her house with Ivy and the other two housemates and herself. And then LaMarcus shows up. And before he shows up, they're like, "Ooh, girl, that's your man now." She's like, "Oh no, he's not. We just doing business purposes. It's just business. It's just business." And they're just like, "It's just business." And Ivy said, "I wish I had an ex-boyfriend that was on the NFL and had that many followers and that could give me a billboard on Sunset like you. Wish I had him." Okay. And LaMarcus walked in. And then she was like, "You can get me that billboard on Sunset too, since you handing out billboards." And he was just looking at her like, "Yeah, right, I ain't finna help you." So next thing, Carlton is calling Connor, and he's like, "Yo, you not answering your phone. Can you answer me back? Like, what is going on with you?" Next scene, Ashley shows up, and then she's talking to Hillary, and she's like, "Hey, I'm here." And she's like, "Okay, thank you for coming. You're going to be my PA and help me out with this event. All things that need to be done. If there's glasses that need to be filled, food that needs to be refilled, like the hors d'oeuvres and different things here, you're just going to do everything to help to make the event run smoothly. Can you do that?" And she's like, "Yeah, I got it, I'm with it." So I'd be like, okay. Next scene, Uncle Phil and they were basically talking about it, and she was talking about how she's actually considering taking the executive director position because she kind of wants to do it. And then Uncle Phil said, "You need to take it. You definitely right for that role. You definitely have what it takes to take that role, for real, for real." And then Uncle Phil said this acquisition, like, he's not liking it, like it's not sounding too good, and he's considering the deal that he received because acquisition don't sound right, and they're losing real bad with that. Like, all the stuff that they're giving them is really bad. It's not even sounding good what they're offering. So he feels like he should take the deal because he's getting way more out of it with that than anything. And then they said, "Anything that you're doing," he said, "the only thing that's like stopping me from wanting to take is this whole thing with Erica, and I don't want to upset you." And she's like, "Don't worry about it. I can handle Erica, baby. Don't worry about that. Okay? Don't worry about that. I got you. Okay? Just take the position. I got everything handled here." And then they kiss, their normal lovey-dovey stuff they're doing. Carlton comes home, and Connor and he comes home, and the mom and Jeffrey are there. So mom is like, "I want us to go back to what we discussed the other day about what happened. When you came home. And then Jeffrey said, "Yeah, we should talk about it." So Jeffrey brought out tea and water and everything to the table. And guess who's sitting at the couch? Connor and his mom. So then Carlton is looking like, what is happening here? So they had a different story. Basically, kind of said when they hung out, the mom, Connor's mom said that they were hanging out and they were drinking, right? But then they got robbed. So that's why his watch was missing or what have. And then Carlton was like, no, that's not what happened. It happened like what I told you. We went out for drinks. I had alcohol. I shouldn't have had it. And then we were in my car and like I was dazed or whatever, so I stopped. And then I just walked out my car and then I was in a daze and forgot where my car was. That's a story. And I'm just like, that story don't sound right either. So both these stories don't make sense. I feel like his story because he lost his watch. So his sound a little bit better, but then it don't. Both the stories sound crazy. So Connor was like, so who's telling the truth here? Aunt Viv was saying, and then it's just like Connor was just looking at, it, and then he looked at him, and then he said, because I'm lying. It happened the way Carlton said it happened. And the mom was like, why did you lie to me? Why didn't you just tell me that? He said, because I was with that girl because it was later in the day and I didn't come home and stuff, and I was with that girl at CBS. And he's like, yeah, I hope you use protection. He said, yes, mom, I'm not stupid enough not to use protection, mom, duh. And she said, okay, he's with that girl, I can't believe him. And then the mom was looking, so it was better off for you to lie and say that you were robbed. That ain't that. Yeah, because I was missing watch. She said, so if you weren't robbed, then what happened to watch? She said, oh, I was over at her crib. Over there or what have she said, check you out. So next thing, Hillary's still at the event, and then LaMarcus' teammates showed up. So they're playing like an event football game with the girls, the house girls, and his teammates. So that's why they showed up or whatever. So the girls are acting like, her housemates or whatever, getting all hot and bothered by the team and stuff. And then Hillary was saying a couple of things too, but she knows LaMarcus is after her, so she needs to stop. So next scene, Erica and Uncle Phil, they meet for lunch or whatever, and he lets her know I'm taking the offer or whatever. And she's like, thank you, I'm happy. I was just confused. She said, I came over there to apologize because I want everything to smooth over so that you could take the position, so that you won't be confused. And I'm just looking at her like, he took a position because of the offer y'all offered him, not because you came over there and apologized to Aunt Viv, to his wife. I was like, yeah, she's really, really crazy. And then he said, what about the Garrison thing? I need to speak to Garrison, though, before I even sign up for anything. I need to talk to Garrison and speak to him and then have a deal in reference to that Garrison account. It's okay. I'll do more than that. I'm going to make sure. We're going to do face-to-face. And then she got up and said, I'll do that right quickly. And she got up and she was all up in his face, hugging him. And so I'm just like, okay, Erica, don't try it because Viv will get you. I hope they're not going to make Uncle Phil cheat on Viv with the stupid girl. Because she is, like, not even all that. Like, please don't do it. Because, no. I'm hoping not. Next scene, Will Will goes to Carlton's room or whatever. And they basically arguing due to him basically seeing him when he was talking to the mom. I forgot to mention that part where when they were leaving the home, Connor was leaving. Will saw Connor there. He was like, so he's back hanging out with him again like that. Okay. So then he came into his room, he's arguing with him. He's like, that's crazy. So you back talking with Connor again after all that happened last year. You haven't learned. You back hanging out with Connor? Oh, well, he was here for me like I needed when you wasn't here. He said, I'm 10 toes down with you all the time because we're not talking or whatever. That gives you a right to go back and hang out with Connor after all the things that you have done, all the things that I've done. Like, what are you talking about? He said, he's like kind of upset with Carlton about that, like, how can you do that or whatever. He looked at him and he's like, nah, don't come at me and talk about you can't trust me and come at me about me hanging out with Connor, talking about you can't trust me just because you can't trust your coach, you can't trust your little girl over there, Jackie. Don't come at me about that. Oh, so now this is what we finna do. Oh, you back on drugs again, you back on that stuff again, let me check. He started throwing his clothes. He said, I'm not back taking nothing. I'm not. Don't start acting like you can't trust me because of what you're going through in your current situation. Don't put it off on me. He said, oh, you on that BS again. You on that BS. Okay, you on that bullshit again. Okay, I see how you are. He said, See, he said, you see, you doing it to yourself. You only hurting yourself. You finna see, you only hurting yourself, Carlton. That's all I gotta say. And he walked right out. Next thing, Hillary's guests. They were supposed to have a guest. That's the reason why um, Ashley really wanted to help her, because the guest Sloan was supposed to be there. This artist or what have that she really liked, and she loves her views about life and everything, was supposed to be there and play in the event in the game. So Hillary's guests, she finds out from her housemates, isn't coming. So they had Ashley play in the football game or replace her, but she didn't really like her outfits or whatever. But she ended up having to play. So basically, they were having all this fun. Her and Lamarcus had this chemistry and everything. So they still connect on that level like they used to. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cute, oh boy. And then they won. She had so much fun basically with Lamarcus. Next thing on, Viv calls like her fellowship and lets them know that she formally accepts the position as the executive director job. So that was pretty good. Next scene, Jazz is at his event, or you basically have Hillary looking at her phone and looking at Jazz, basically doing a live at his little event that he's having at his store for his store. I guess he's celebrating his store at the time. So Hillary's looking because she's the one who set up the event and set that up for him and whatever. So Ashley's like, I caught you. I see you looking at Jazz, and he's only doing the social media thing. It's because of you. So you know that he's doing that for a reason. He's trying to reach out to you, get you to come. You want to go see him. And then she's like, nah, Ashley, I'm not trying to go. I know what you're talking about. But she know deep down she really wants to go see him. I agree with Ashley. He's doing that because he was trying to get you to come to his event. And then furthermore, you want to go because you really miss him and you really want to be with him. But you got your pride. You hurt, because of how he's feeling towards you about the whole thing with Lamarcus and your intentions and stuff like that. And you feel away because y'all keep getting into arguments and stuff. So I just feel like she wants to be back with him, and I'm happy that Aunt Babe took the position. But I just feel like there's an ulterior motive why they're offering her. They're not doing it for a good reason. They're making it seem like it's a good reason, but it's an ulterior motive in my opinion. So next thing, Uncle Phil went to James, which is his partner, about the new deal, showing him that people weren't losing their jobs. They would have the Garrison account. He's like, oh snap, you did it. Well, see, I knew it, Phil. I knew it, Phil. You was gonna do it. But he told him his only stipulation, though, that I'm taking the job with Erica, though. In order for you to get the Garrison account, I had to take the position with Erica, though. He said, nah, we ain't doing it then. He said, nah, it can't work like that. He said, we have to do it like that. Remember you said that things may not look how we're used to, but there's change that needs to come. Well, that's the same situation here. So, oh, but I can't. He said, no. Remember when I wasn't here and I left the firm and you were heading the firm? You had all control of everything. And you did very well without me even being here. So you can do it again. And you can head over this firm. I'm going to take this. You're going to still have the Garrison account. And I'm going to work over here with Erica and them. And everything's going to be great because you did well before and you're going to continue to do well, okay, my brother? And then James was looking at him like, okay, I guess I'll do it. He had no other choice. So next scene is Will showed up to Jazz's event at the shop. And Jazz is looking for... And basically when he saw Will, he was looking for Hillary. And then Will was like, Hillary about to come. So you already know what it is. Will, that he's about to come or whatever. So it was really good or whatever. So coming to the event, he's like talking with him. He's like, I'm waiting for Jackie, telling Jazz. And Jazz was like, you still need my key. You still need to keep my place so you can hang out with her and everything. He's like, yeah, you already know. He's like, okay, no problem. So then Jackie shows up, or whatever, shows up to the event too. So then Jackie is at Jazz's place with Will, and he said, I want to talk to you about Doc. So she said, you need to tell me we alone here in this apartment. Every time we're supposed to spend time together, we either don't meet up or we don't meet, or it doesn't happen. Now you get a chance to have a long time with me, and all you want to do is talk. I don't think that's all you want to do you? And then Will did the flip to her, and then they got it in basically. And so next thing is Lamarcus is waiting on Hillary or whatever, talking to her, what have. And then he said, let's hang out, in the pool and go have a good time and everything. And then she's like, can I get a rain check on that? Because I got, and we could do it another time. He said, okay, no problem then. Okay, no pressure, no problem. And then next thing, Will and Jackie are finished, getting it in over half. And then he asked her about the bribes and things, did you know? And she was like, yeah, I knew. But that's my uncle and it's nothing I could do about it. What was I supposed to do? And then he said, Doc said she also brought up like the thing about his uncle. It's like, yeah, he wanted you on the team because of like your connection with your uncle and things like that. So he used me and you used me. And she's like, well, it's my uncle and there's nothing I could basically do. I just know that he wanted you on the team because your uncle is, a lawyer, and his connections in the community and his power. That's the reason why he kind of wanted you on the team, because of that. And then he was like, oh, wow. So then he felt her, and then she said, I guess I should leave then. He said, I guess you should leave then. And then he was like crying and stuff. Uh-oh, Will is getting tight again, because he's being hurt by somebody that he felt like he could trust again. I said, uh-oh, here we go. So next scene is Carson meets up with Connor and he's talking with Connor, and then he's like, what happened to my car? Like, what happened? And then Connor's like, oh, me and oh boy, the other guy that was there, they were hanging out with, we took your car on a joyride and decided to go with him, a joyride, and they went all around to the beach, and then went to the restaurant to get some burgers, and they just had them a good old time. And really, to be true, Connor doesn't actually know how he got home because they were so high, crazy right there. And then after he told the story, he said, okay. And then he said, Connor, I'm being watched by Jeffrey and my mom and my dad and what have, so we have to so we don't have, and Connor's like, we don't hang out no more. He's like, nah, we just have to be discreet about it and be more careful than we were before. But he said, you got some stuff? And then he held up his hand with the baggie with the stuff in it, and then he took it. And I'm just like, this boy is stupid. If they following you, don't you think when you going to walk and say you're going to meet somebody else that they're not watching you and not following you? So yeah, you're not too smart. You're gonna get caught. Stupid. He's not too smart. Stupid. Hillary shows up to Jazz's event. She saw him saw him having fun and dancing with another chick, and she walked in. She was in there for a minute, and then she just walked away and walked out. So next scene is Doc comes to Will, talking to Will, and then he's like, so, like, he had a car and then walking. Yeah, he said, so, do you have anything you got to say to me? Because you saying all this to my team and everything, but you ain't saying nothing to me. So you got something you want to say to my face? And he said, it's a lot that I expected from you, whatever. This happened earlier in the episode, but I forgot. Like, I don't think I wrote it down or something in my notes. So he said, so this is how it's gonna be. Like, he said, I thought I could trust you, and then come to find out that you lied to me, you weren't being real, and I thought you were different, but you're not. And that's the part that's kind of like, and then Doc's like, what are you talking about? Like, I have your back. It's not nothing I lied to you about. And he said, I can't even trust you, and I thought that you were different from everybody else, but you're just like everybody else that lied to me that I can't trust. Because he's like, you didn't, and then Doc was like, you didn't even show up to practice, so that's why I came to talk to you or whatever. And he's just like, okay. And then he said, well, I can't trust you, and you're not no different than what I thought. And I'm like, that's what you get, Doc, because you are a liar, and you definitely didn't tell him the truth about everything. You were not 100 at all. And Will has every right to walk away and tell you, like, the truth. Like, I don't trust nothing you say or nothing about you at all. For real, for real. So after Hillary left Jazz's event, Hillary went back to Lamarcus, and she said, is the hot tub still available? And then she kissed him, and then, Lamarcus picked her up and was carrying her up the steps. So, they did their thing. You already know. Then Uncle Phil and Jeffrey, they Doc. And then Doc was sitting there and said, oh, hello. And his security was acting like they was finna do something. And then Jeffrey said, yeah, you don't want to do that, big boy. You need to chill out, relax. And then Doc is like, hold your horses. So then Uncle Phil was trying to tell him, Will is telling me that you basically were, because, he spoke to Jackie, after he did something with Jackie admitted that he was basically using Will for his connection with Uncle Phil. So he just let you know, basically Uncle Phil said to let you know that Will is no longer part of your team, and that the plan of you using or whatever you thought that you finna do, it ain't finna work, so you not finna win. I'm just like, oops, okay, Uncle Phil. It's not finna work. You're not finna win nothing. I'm just like, oops, 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 oops. I was crying. I said, okay, Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil was not in the mood. He was not playing at all. Playing no games. So he said, we finna be out our way. And then basically Doc was like, nah, wait, listen, hear me out. And then he was like, Lorenzo, his partner, wanted to do a plan that he wasn't for, bringing the streets and bringing other people in that he didn't think was cool. So he didn't think it was viable that we could do that. But since Lorenzo is his partner, and if he's not part of it, he has a problem with it. So he's telling him, like, basically Will has to stay with them, because if he don't, he's going to get investigated. And if he gets investigated, it can stop the team from being able to play basketball, and it would basically invalidate them, their scholarships, and invalidate them being able to play basketball and everything if they get investigated and stuff like that. Uncle Phil said will not be. So he basically told him, like, I need you to work that magic like you work with Will and helping him get out of that charge. You got some type of power. We one and the same. Uncle Phil said, we're nothing alike. No, don't ever try to say we anything alike. I don't think so. Try that. And then Uncle Phil and Jeffrey looked at each other when he brought up the whole helping him out of the charge thing and why he came there. And he's just like looking at each other like, wow, you're something else. You're full of it. And I was just like, see, Will, you going around running your mouth, and now look, he didn't use what you told him against your uncle now, and then now your uncle's hands is forced. Jeffrey's hands is forced to work with him now because of what he did, the bribes and the illegal stuff he's doing now. His hands are forced. See. So if they do not have Will play, and his Lorenzo partner goes and tells and sings or whatever, and Uncle Phil doesn't use his power to help, then that would invalidate all the players from being able to play basketball, including Will, and Will wouldn't be able to get scholarships or be able to play ball or anything. So he's acting, Uncle Phil basically helped him use his power. So I'm like, see, this is crazy. And then this episode, you see, towards the end of, this is the end of the episode, last clip you see is Will with a black hoodie on, and he's just sitting here like this, and he's like just pissed, and he's just like thinking about what Uncle Phil was trying to tell him about Doc, and how Doc is using him for money, and how can Will say that Uncle Phil doesn't believe in him, and Uncle Phil ain't by his side when he's paying money and putting money in his pockets, and how Doc is full of it and using him. And then Will is just like real hurt, and it looks like he's angry, like he don't know what to do or where to go anymore. Like after this, like he's like just lost, and he's just like so angry. Like he has the black hoodie over his head, and he's just like doesn't know what to do. So, and he's just thinking about all of everything and what's happening, and how he should have listened to his uncle, and like he doesn't know what to do anymore because there's not much he can do. He has to play for Doc now. There's no other choice. His uncle doesn't either, from what they say. So next episode is episode 10, and that's the last episode of the season, it seems like. So we finna see what's happening with that, what's happening with the executive director job, what's happening with Carlton still hanging out with Connor and his drug use. If Jeffrey done found out some information and took pictures of him with the drugs and stuff, and see if he's gonna get in trouble, because I think that's gonna happen. He's gonna get in trouble. I think next episode it's gonna be found out their reason why they gave her the executive director, or it's gonna give a snippet of that. Will is gonna like disappear like he did last time, because when things get hard on him, he dips off, he disappears. Like he really gets upset and he doesn't know what to do. So when he doesn't know what to do, sometimes like he just dips off and he just disappears. So he probably gonna go to Jazz's house, be upset, and not want to talk to anybody, and then basically try to figure out a different way to get everything done. So this is how I like my whole recap review of the episode. Is getting good. It's the season finale. So like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how y'all feel about the episode. And talk to you later, YouTube. Bye.